Hi, welcome back to Manoj Nambiar's Travel Experiences. Today we are going to discuss about creativity. Creativity is a process of developing and expressing novel ideas that are likely to be useful. Creativity involves convergent as well as divergent thinking. The creative process begins with divergent thinking, a breaking away from familiar or established ways of seeing and doing that produces novel ideas. An innovation is the end result of the creative process. Again, creativity is a process you employ to improve your problem solving. Creativity is misunderstood. Misconception 1. The smarter you are, the more creative you are. Misconception 2. The young are more creative than the old. Misconception 3. Creativity is reserved for the few, the flamboyant high rollers. Misconception 4. The creative act is essentially solitary. Misconception 5. You can't manage creativity. Sometimes ideas come in flashes of inspiration. More often, though, they come as a result of a deliberate process. Knowing this process is a key part of managing a creative group. Leadership insight, harnessing creativity. There are two fundamental challenges in any kind of innovation process. The first challenge is you have to generate lots of ideas. Innovation to some degree is a numbers game. You make lots of ideas about the problem you are trying to solve. And then once you get a lot of ideas, you then need to figure out a way to then winnow them down and pick the right one. And what we have seen in many firms has been that the generation function tends to be fairly limited. They might have 5, maybe 10 people at the most, working on a problem and trying to come up with various ideas to solve that problem. And then selection often also is very limited. They might get 1 or 2 people in the end to make the call and say, yeah, we have a business case for this and let us go with this. Paradoxical tendencies. The creative group exhibits paradoxical characteristics. For example, to do its best work, your group needs deep knowledge of the subjects relevant to the problem it is trying to solve and a mastery of the process involved. But at the same time, your group needs fresh perspectives that are unencumbered by the prevailing wisdom or established ways of doing things, often a cold beginner's mind. This is the perspective of a newcomer, someone who is curious, even playful, and willing to ask anything because he does not know what he does not know. Determine the ideal mix of traits in a creative group. As you build an optimal creative team, what combination of team member characteristics would be most effective? 50% beginner's mind, 50% experience. 50% freedom, 50% discipline. 50% play, 50% professionalism. 50% improvisation, 50% planning. Creative group needs a balance of these characteristics to create the optimal setting for innovation. The value of creative groups. The characteristics that are necessary for creative work seem contradictory and they rarely exist in one person. That is one reason why teams are increasingly important in today's economy. They ensure a level of creative output that is greater than what individuals working alone could achieve. But in order to achieve that kind of output, you have to carefully examine the composition of your group. You need to make sure that your group as a whole has all the requisite skills and attributes that help a group produce creative ideas. Teams ensure a level of creative output that is greater than what any individual could achieve. Intellectual diversity. You need people with different areas of expertise and deep knowledge in different disciplines. but you also need people with different thinking styles. Here it is important to understand that intellectual diversity is not the same thing as ethnic and gender diversity. Ethnic and gender diversity can often enhance your group's variety of thoughts, but they don't guarantee it. You can't assume that people of the same gender or ethnic group will think alike, or that people of different groups think differently. So, even as you consider the ethnic and gender representation of your group, focus on preferred thinking styles, functional specialities, and the particular skills that influence how a person approaches a problem. While ethnic and gender diversity are important, strive to have intellectual diversity represented in your group. Preferred thinking styles. What is a preferred thinking style? It is the essentially unconscious way a person looks at and interacts with the world. When faced with a problem or dilemma, a person will usually approach it by thinking in the way she is most comfortable. And although each style has a particular advantages, no one style is better than another. There are many different ways to describe how people think and make decisions. For the purposes of ensuring that your group has all the characteristics necessary for creative work, what is most important is that you develop the ability to recognize and describe different thinking styles. Make creative sparks fly. An intellectually diverse group thinks more creatively and is more likely to generate innovative solutions. You can't make people adopt a different thinking style, but you can orchestrate thinking styles in such a way that your group's output benefits from the different perspectives. How do you get creative aberration? You import creative diversity from the outside, or you build your internal capacity for it. Assess team diversity. Consider yourself lucky if you have the opportunity to compose your team from scratch. The more likely scenario is that you are assigned a team to lead and the membership has already been determined. Once you have assessed how the thinking styles of your team members complement or duplicate your own, you will have a pretty good feel for whether any gaps exist. If the team lacks vital skills or expertise, you are going to have to look outside your group to find what you need. Import intellectual diversity. First, look elsewhere within your organization. Are there people with different thinking styles or skills who could temporarily take part in the work of your team? If not, you will need to go outside your organization and maybe outside your industry. Hire for creative aberration. On those occasions when you are able to hire new employees, take full advantage of the opportunity. Look for people whose intellectual perspectives complement your own preferred styles and skills as well as those of your group. Look for a balance of expertise and personal characteristics in each new hire. Look for people who are able and willing to work across functional boundaries. When you set specific hiring criteria, put a premium on increasing your group's intellectual diversity and finding necessary skills that the group currently lacks. Don't simply list a standard set of skills. Also consider exploring non-traditional hiring channels. For example, consider interns who have spent a summer or semester with your company. Ask colleagues for referrals. Ask friends outside your industry to be on the lookout for people whose skill sets match your needs. Remember, if your goal is to create change within the group, it would not be enough just to hire one person who has a different perspective. A lone hire soon feels isolated and becomes marginalized. For the different thinking styles to make a difference, you need to begin by hiring a critical mass of newcomers with fresh perspectives. Manage creative conflict. Make no mistake about it. Intellectual diversity does have its hazards. When you put different thinking styles together on one team, the result will not be unbroken harmony. Nor would you want it to be. Expect to have disagreements and clashes. That way, you won't be surprised when they occur. But you must be vigilant nonetheless, constantly asking yourself if the conflict is creative or not. For creative aberration to work, you have to maintain a dynamic equilibrium. You want to foster substantive conflict. That's the kind of aberration that gets team members interacting. You want your team members to listen to each other's point of view and question each other's assumptions. Learn from failure. Failure can be useful if it is intelligent failure. However, this does not mean simply learning from mistakes or making the same mistakes over and over. For intelligent failure to take place, you must acknowledge that there is a risk and plan contingencies. Keep management informed. Assess and learn from any failures. Encourage reflection. Creative environments don't just provide casual and playful spaces. They also provide areas where employees can be quiet and reflective. The goal is to open up the range of emotional responses people experience at work. Quite a contrast from the traditional button down approach to the work environment.